Hello and welcome to the Kiddo Ditto Krafts podcast. I'm recording with my husband in the kitchen. He is baking cookies, so if you hear rustling over there, that's all that is. My name is Kira. I am a knitter, a painter, and a crafter living in California with my husband and two cats. You may see them around, all three of them. And this is my podcast that I started to share the things that I have been making. So right now it is the weekend before Christmas, the end of a crazy month and a crazy year, and I think we are all very much looking forward to 2020 being over. I know I certainly am. I don't know what's in store for 2021, but I sure hope it's better than this year was. I don't know about you, but I used to love to make New Year's resolutions. I have since kind of abandoned that practice and I set goals whenever I feel like it. I don't like to put timelines on it, arbitrary, like New Year's feels arbitrary to me. So, but if you're the type of person that likes to set resolutions, and you like to set goals, I love to talk about goals, and I love to make lists and so on and so forth. So please do share your New Year's resolutions and or goals with me looking ahead into 2021. I do have some goals coming up, and I will be talking about them in the next episode, of course. But right now, it's Christmas, and you probably noticed although you don't, second episode, you don't know what my wardrobe is, but this is a brand new dress, the Pleiades 2 dress. Made in a cotton fabric that I got from Joann's that has these cute little Christmas trees on it. It was a challenging pattern for sure. My sewing skills are pretty basic, so the collar and this fun bust line and everything was all kind of tricky for me. But I figured it out. It took me 2 weekends. I'm normally like a once and done. If it takes more than a day to get done, I don't. Of course, I say this as a knitter. My projects take weeks sometimes. But for any non-knitting projects, I'm pretty impatient. So, but I stuck with it, and I love the results. And I'm really excited to wear this on Christmas Day and with my family. And I think it's super cute. I will definitely be making more because I bought the pattern, and it has a lot of different alterations. So, so I'm excited to make some summer versions and use up some more of my fabric stash with this pattern. Oh, I wanted to mention, last episode, I said that this would be my first cotton dress. That's not true. I made a dress with my grandma a few years ago, which gave me the confidence to then, make more dresses on my own. And I have a picture of that, which I will put in here. We went and got a pattern, we went and picked out fabric, and then she ended up doing a lot of the work. She showed me how to cut out the pattern. I did some of the sewing, and then she had her machine and I had mine, and she would work on it while I was doing like more fiddly stuff, or more time consuming stuff. But I don't have the dress anymore because I tend to go through and purge stuff, and that was a victim of one of those purging sessions. And one of the things I regret getting rid of because it would fit me again, for one thing. And it was a really special thing that I got to do with my grandma. So, but that's all that to say, this is not my first full cotton dress. That one was also much more complicated than the Ida dresses that I have been making. But yeah, anyway, babbling on enough about that. I'm also I made myself some Shrinky Dink jewelry. These little trees match the little trees in my dress. And I also made some baubles. I'll put some pictures of the little Christmas baubles earrings that I made for myself this morning. Let's see. Oh, I'm also wearing some little garter stitch slippers that I made for myself earlier this year. They are made from, the dark brown is just Barocco, and the main color is Barn Owl by Sheep's Clothing Yarn Company. I will put a link to their Etsy shop in the show notes. But I love that colorway. I used it on a hat for a friend, these socks, and I think I still have some stashed away probably for some scrappy project in the future. So that's what I've been wearing, or that's what I'm currently wearing, but it's finally sweater weather in California. It takes a while to kick in. So I've been wearing lots of hand knit sweaters and hand knit socks as often as I can, which has been fun. So since it is December, it's cold for the northern hemisphere, and most of it anyway, so if there's something that you're super excited about that you've been wearing, I would love to see a link to it or share a picture of it. I like to see what people are wearing, of course. Who doesn't, as a garment maker? So I finished a lot in the last month. I feels like a lot of little projects. I finished, I think, all of the works in progress I had from my last, not all of them, I'm still working on some socks, but I got a lot done, so that feels good. That's a nice thing about doing a monthly podcast, is you get a lot more done. So one of the finished objects I have are these little baubles. This is the first one I made out of scraps, and then here's, oh, it shows up so much better on camera. You can actually see the design there, and then a little joy one for my mother-in-law. So these are not actually super fun to make. I made them with worsted weight, which there's a reason I think most of the free patterns for those are in fingering. And so if I were to, I've got a ton more of those clear plastic baubles left. So I think I will be making, if I do make some more knit ones, it will be in fingering weight for sure. Of course, I should have started with my little brother's Christmas gift, the Enchanted Mesa sweater, which I finished, and which is giant and glorious, and just goes on and on and on for days and days. I love it so much, and I think he will too. So, of course, it looks not great on me, but it will look awesome on him. So it'll be like a blanket dress on him, and it's like pretty lumpy on me, but I would wear it anyway because it's fabulous. So that's one big finished object. I haven't been counting it in my mind because it's not a sweater for me, but this was a pretty big project and accomplishment. So so that I finished. I also finished my Magical Thinking pullover shawl. Pattern is by Casapinka. The yarn is, this is Round Mountain Fibers, Striped Shore Crab, and then Hummingbird Lavender, I want to say. And then this is a Cascade Fiber yarn. And I actually really love how it turned out. I really love how it looks on me. I love that it's like a shawl cowl. It's like I guess a poncho is a cowl version of what a cowl is to a scarf, a poncho is to a shawl. And I am all about cowls. So you don't gotta fiddle with them constantly. So I've worn this a couple of times, and it looks very striking with a black dress. So yeah, I wasn't sure how I would feel about the colors, but I actually really like it. So I'll be keeping this. What else do I have? I knit. Those cookies are going to be good. I knit you can see my hair dye. I freshly dyed my hair just for Christmas. You can see, maybe TMI, all my hair dye, because I run in this hat. This is the welded cap. I call mine my highlighter cap because highlighter yellow. But it's the welded cap by Taylor Earl of Fiber for the People. I have some yarn of hers for a project coming up. But it's a free pattern that she provided, and I'm probably going to knit a couple more of these because it was super. I did it in an evening. I mean, it took me 6 hours, but what else are you going to do? So yeah, so I really like this hat. It's served me very, very well. Like I said, I wear it when I go out running because it's really bright and hard to miss. So that's usually how I wear it, just tucked over my ears. You can fold it up, but I like it like that. So that's my highlighter cap. And then I'll put a couple pictures in here. I made a couple of hats for gifts. One of them is the brioche kitty hat that I made for a pen pal of mine. So yeah. Let me see. Did I get everything else? Yes. So other than this finished sewing object, I made calling it my Nitty Kitty skirt. So it's that super cute cat fabric with all the knitting kitties, and then it's just a circle skirt, and I put some elastic in the top of it. So it's very, very basic. It's basically like a tutu, but it's super cute, and I love the print. So got that done. Still want to make a project bag out of the rest of that. But those are all my finished objects. Quite a few. Oh, I also got Shrinky Dink jewelry done, as demonstrated here. I made a couple of Shrinky Dink things for Christmas gifts. Yeah, it's been a productive month. I don't know about you. I used to aspire to make every gift, but I maybe had time for that when I was like in high school, maybe, but no longer. So I this year set out to make that big old sweater for my little brother, and then I kind of, as I had time, decided, okay, I can make this for this person and this for this person, but otherwise everything else, you know, if you're going to give gifts, no one has time to hand make them all. So I don't know about you though. Do you like to make all your gifts, or just one, or none? I mentioned in the last episode, moving forward, I think I just want to pick one person to get a hand knit or handmade, something that takes, you know, multiple sessions per year for Christmas. And then, kind of like I did this year, as I find time, if I can make something for someone, I probably will. But I don't really like to put a lot of pressure on myself these days to get a lot done, or crafting-wise at least. So moving on to works in progress, I am really in between projects right now, so it's going to be very like FO heavy and very next on my needles heavy, but I have a couple of socks work in progresses right now. One is my Fleet Feet socks. Fleet Feet is a pattern by Fatima Hines, and it's a fun pattern. It's got some cool texture and some really basic cabling, and I just put my Forethought heel scrap yarn in here. I love that it has an afterthought or forethought heel, because I hate doing my heels in the middle of my sock knitting. So, so that's built into the pattern, and now I'm at the next stage where I have to start bringing the pattern together across the leg and everything. So that's been fun. It also takes a little bit more concentration, so I don't get as much done on it, because I tend to like very, what's the word? not mindless, I guess, mindless knitting, easy knitting, TV watching knitting. But I'm working on these. I'm hoping to get them done before the new year, but we'll see. Those are in Spaz Ass, the Spaz Ass colorway by Whimsical Wood Fiber Company. Oh, the project bag also is by Whimsical Wood Fiber Company. It's got these cute little unicorn puppies and kitties and rainbows and burgers. In my other Whimsical Wood Fiber Company skeleton hand rose spooky bag, I have my Bah Humbug Christmas socks. I was inspired by Amy of the Stranded Dye Works podcast. She has knit a pair of socks for every day leading up to Christmas, so 25 plus I think she's at now, pairs of Christmas socks. So it'll take me longer than it took her, but I'd like to have 25 pairs of Christmas socks. So this is my first pair, first sock of first pair. I got a set of 2 matching sock, self-striping sock yarn from Turtle Pearl Yarns. They're based in Canada. And I don't know about you, but I always end up with tons of leftover sock yarn. Like, this thing is massive, and I haven't even gotten close to using up the ball on one. So I'm like, okay, this is plenty. So I've started on the cuff, but I'm just using a vanilla sock, kind of my own recipe that I have been adapting. It's got a contrast heel or toe, and I'll put in a contrast heel as well. You can see the yarn is slightly more blue than the teal in the colorway, but it's close enough. I just had some leftover yarn there, so I'll use that on the heel as well. What I am trying with this pair of socks is I have fairly large calves, and I have a hard time getting socks up and over my calves. So on a couple of past pairs, I tried increases, and I wasn't crazy about how that looked. So on this pair, I have tried going up a needle size every couple of stripes. So it's resulted in a much stretchier fabric at the top than at the bottom and in the foot. So I still don't know if it'll get over my calves, but it'll just be a fun scrunchy, slouchy sock if not. So I'm doing a 2x2 rib on the top. And yeah, so, and then I'll start on the second one and put in my true afterthought heels. So those are my works in progress. Some socky socks. Tomorrow I think I will be casting on a new project. I have a couple of things queued up and ready to go. One of them is the Chicest Cowl by Jennifer Berg. And it's a gorgeous pattern. I'm excited to knit it. It should go fairly quickly. And I am using, this here is Madeline Tosh in Vino or Wino Forever. Cascade Fibers white and Cascade Fibers black. So Wino Forever I got to use on a sweater that I ended up not using. So I think I'm going to use it for this cowl. And I think that'll be very pretty. I did get a blue to match the pattern, but purple is more my color. So, and it's such a pretty purple. So I might cast that on tomorrow. I might cast on my Sipilla, I think is how you pronounce that, by Caitlin Hunter, Boylan Knitworks. And this, I showed you guys the yarn last episode, but I have it all caked up now. You can see just how gorgeous it is. So this will be my main color. It's kind of blown out a little bit. But it's got a lot of gold, and it's like kind of gold toned green. and then some of this dark, almost purpley stuff. It's kind of, I was trying to describe it to my sister-in-law. Like, I had it here and I was trying to describe it and I couldn't really, but it's really pretty and I'm excited to use it. And then wood sugar is going to be my contrast, and that just has a lot of gold in it. Very variegated. So these two together will be my Sipilla. And I will probably cast that on tomorrow. Maybe the cowl. I don't know. We'll find out. So those are the very next things on my needles. Moving on to more of what's next in my queue. I have the yarn for this project. I have had the yarn for this project for a while. I'm going to call it my Harry Poofer sweater. The pattern is Le Pouf, and the yarn I will be using for that is by a whimsical wood fiber company. These are all Harry Potter colorways, hence Harry Poofer. So I got these all at a Harry Potter trunk show. Oh, my husband is bringing me a cookie. Thank you. Ooh, it is hot. That is a delicious spice cookie. Yum. Thank you. It's really good. I'm gonna sit here and eat this cookie for a second.
You can edit this out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I think they turned out good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Action. As I was saying, I got these all at a, I think I got all of them at the same time at a Harry Potter trunk show at the Flying Needles in Williamsburg. It was my first local yarn store. So this one, this is Badger. I'm a Hufflepuff, by the way. This is Badger, one of the Hufflepuff colorways. So it's a nice brownish gray, dark brownish gray. And then this is Harry Potter, which has blue and little flecks of like a burgundy and some yellow. Very pretty. And then this is Hermione Granger, which has a lot of purple and mauve and some blue again thrown in there. Also very pretty. These are all gorgeous colors. And when I bought them, I had no idea what I was going to do with them. And Minerva McGonagall, which has some green flecked in there, some purple, some magenta on a light gray base. So, very pretty. So, I think I'm going to fade them like so. And I think that will be very, very nice indeed. So, that will be my Harry Poofer sweater, cardigan. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I've had these yarns for over a year now, so. Yeah, so that's very close to being next on my needles because I have the yarn. And it's in my You Crafty Bitch project bag. I Do As I Please is holding my Sipilla sweater yarn. And I forget where I got this from. She's a project bag maker, obviously, but this is a gorgeous bag that I use for a lot of sweater projects. This is holding my chicest cowl. So that is what I've got as far as what's very much next on my needles because I have the yarn for it. But I did want to talk about what is next in my queue. This has changed. Actually, it hasn't really. I don't have the yarn for this yet, but it's all in my cart, my Knit Picks cart. I would really love to make a beauty school sweater by Poison Girls. I think if I did it in a pink, like a bubblegum pink yarn with a pink mohair, it would go fabulously with my Nitty Kitty skirt. So never in my life did I think I would be knitting or have a desire to knit anything with mohair, period. But I think I need a beauty school pink mohair t-shirt, sweater in my life. So that's actually number 1 on my queue right now. And then right below that, I have the Maha cardigan by Helene Magnuson, I think is how you say her name. This I have in my queue, high up in my queue, because I was inspired by these colors. So I'll explain what this project is for next, but I want to use these colors from Knit Picks and an almond, it's called Almond Heather, I believe, and a heather, a purple heather that has like blue flecks in it. So those will be the colors that I use for that. It's all in my cart. It will soon be in my home. But until that point, it's living in my cart. This will be the first cardigan that I get to steek, which I'm really excited about. I've not steeked a thing. I obviously have cut my yarn with Afterthought heels, so I'm not afraid to cut my yarn, and I'm very excited to steek something. So I'm excited about that project as well. And before I forget, my mom asked me if I could knit stockings. Actually, no, she asked if I could make stockings, or back up even further. She asked if I cared if she got rid of my stocking to switch them out for other stockings. There goes William Blake. And I said no, because I think she replaced our childhood stockings when I was like in junior high school. And then I said I could make stockings to replace the ones that you're getting rid of. And she got very excited about that. And then she asked if I could make them for this Christmas. And I said, no, Mother. Knitting takes time. I do not have time to make 3 stockings before Christmas. But she bought me the yarn. We're using the old stockings this year. Next year, my brothers and I will have new stockings. So these will be for my stockings. The base color is always going to be white for all of these. These are all Knit Picks colors. So we have Magic, this is Columbine, and Calypso. And then for my brother Ryan, who lives in Colorado and is always outside, this is Forest Heather, Bamboo, and this one is some other, Merlot Heather. So that'll be for Ryan. And then Logan, who I'm giving the Enchanted Mesa sweater to, is getting these 3. So I think this one is Cobblestone, you've got something like Jet, and then this one is Hollyberry. So I think I'm going to do a reindeer motif for myself, trees for Ryan, and then Logan, I'm not sure what I'll do for him. Snowflakes, probably. That's not a comment on him being a snowflake. Just that I think that that would be an appropriate motif for him. So, yeah, that's, there's a large pile of things in front of me that you cannot see because of framing. So that's all the stuff that I've got, that I've made, that I am currently working on, that I'm excited to start working on. Yeah, it's the weekend before Christmas. Only a few days left of this holiday season. Before I go though, I wanted to tell you what you can watch next. So a podcast that my sister-in-law introduced me to, yes, William Blake, is called Hey Brown Berry. You can find her on YouTube. I think you can find her on Instagram and Ravelry also as Hey Brown Berry. I love her podcast. It is very relaxing, very calm. She uses a lot of intention, and she's created a mood for sure in her podcast that I find very soothing and relaxing. So I highly, highly recommend you check out Hey Brown Berry. So yeah, I love her whole aesthetic and like I said, the mood she brings to her podcast and everything I think is all fabulous. So I hope that I can also maybe be a peaceful, calm companion to you while you craft. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry. My Instagram handle is Kira Knits Things. Yes, Kira Knits Things. And then I'm Kira Barsodi on Ravelry. You can find links to everything that I've talked about. More cookies are coming out of the oven. Links to everything I've talked about in the show notes. I think that's about it. I hope that you have had a restful holiday season, whatever holiday you're celebrating, that it's full of joy, that it's safe, and yeah, let's hope 2021 is a better year for all of us. All right, I will talk to you all later. Merry Christmas and goodbye.